Welcome to the EarlyON. My name is Corrie and I'm a resource consultant from Lansdowne Children's Center. Today I'm going to talk to you about your child's temperament, and we're going to look at a few of the temperament traits in detail. For those of you who watched the previous video entitled Introduction to Temperament, you may recall that temperament is defined by Dr. Stella Chess and Alexander Thomas as the personality part of your child that determines how your child deals with the world. Temperament traits are present from birth and to a large degree determine how your child behaves. Today we're going to examine 3 temperament traits that affect how well your child fits in at home, at school, and with other children. And we'll look at how the traits remain the same as the child grows. We will look at activity level, rhythmicity, and distractibility. According to Chess and Thomas, 40% of infants are classified as easy babies. They adjust easily to new situations, they quickly establish routine, and they're generally cheerful and easy to calm. 10% of infants are classified as difficult babies. They're slow to adjust to new experiences, they likely react negatively and intensely to stimuli and new events. 15% of infants are slow to warm up. So they are somewhat difficult at first, but they become easier over time. So activity level refers to the amount of physical movement your child has while doing activities. A child with high activity level at 2 months moves often in their sleep. They wriggle at diaper change time. A child with low activity level does not move when they're being dressed or changed. At 2 years, the child with high activity level, they climb on furniture and they love to explore. They get in and out of bed at night. The child at 2 years with low activity level enjoys quiet play and they love to do puzzles for hours. A child at 10 with a high activity level plays ball and engages in other sports. They can't sit still to do their homework. A child with low activity level at 10, they like chess and reading, and they eat very slowly. For the child with low activity level, use jumping jacks and other physical activity to get them going. Give your child time to finish the tasks that they're working on. Do not criticize them and do not allow others, more active children, to take over for them. Focus on their accomplishments and encourage them to do exercises to improve their coordination. For the child with high activity, help them to learn some calming techniques. Taking slow, deep breaths may help. Always provide your child with opportunities to let off some steam. Running, jumping, climbing, they're always good activities. Alternate these activities with some fine motor activities like drawing or cutting. You may need to help them to be quiet. Have them practice moving slowly like a snail, or play Simon Says, which has some slow movements and then some fast movements. Always provide consistent limits and structures. Rhythmicity level refers to the level of predictability in the child's biological functions, such as waking, becoming tired, hungry, and their bowel movements. So a child at 2 months with irregular rhythmicity, they often wake at different times each day, and the size of their feedings will vary. A regular child at 2 months, they've been on a schedule, a 4-hour schedule since birth, and they have regular bowel movements. An irregular child at 2 years, nap times change day to day. Toilet training is difficult because it's unpredictable when their bowel movements may happen. A child with regular rhythmicity at 2 years eats a big lunch every day, and they always have a snack before bedtime. Things you can count on. An irregular child at 10 years, their food intake varies. They fall asleep at different times every day. Nighttime is usually a nightmare. Children with regular rhythmicity, they eat only at mealtime and they sleep the same amount every day. If your child is very regular in their routine, try to accommodate their need for regularity. Maintain routines as much as possible, especially during holiday times. For example, and warn them at a time for any transitions or changes that may happen. If your child is not regular in their routines, accept how they feel, but impose some social rules. For example, they may not be hungry, but ask them to sit at the table and eat at least one thing. Accept that they may not be tired, but have them stay in bed and read some books. Distractibility level refers to how easily or not so easily things go on around your child that might disrupt their thought processes and attention. So, a distractible child at 2 months will stop crying for food if they're rocked, and they stop fussing if you give them a pacifier, as opposed to a not distracted child at 2 months. They will not stop crying even if their diaper is changed, and they will fuss after eating even if they're being rocked. A distractible 2-year-old will stop tantruming if other activity levels or other activities are offered for them. A child that is not distractible at 2 will scream if refused a desired object. So a toy they really want, often they will ignore a mother's calling. So at 10 years, a distractible child needs to have silence when they're doing their homework. They can't choose a shirt in the store because all of them are just so appealing. A child that is not distractible at 10, they can read a book with the TV on. They do their chores on a regular schedule. If you have a child who is distractible, provide them with a small enclosed place to play and a few toys at a time. Make sure to remove any distracting items if possible. Provide firm limits and structure. Insist that they spend concentrated time on the activity, but give small breaks periodically. Praise them when the task is done. If you have a child who is not easily distracted, provide them with warnings about when to stop an activity. Try not to ask your child to do something when they're in the middle of concentrating on something else. If they always are trying to be alone in order to get something done, make sure to include them in social activities as well. Remember that these traits are something your child is born with. They are unique beings. Learn to work together with your child and understand how your temperament fits with your child's temperament and create strategies to help each other. Appreciate your child and help them to feel good about who they are.
A resource consultant from the Early Integration Program is available to talk to you should you want more information, support, or to discuss any concerns or questions you may have. Please contact us by email at eip@lansdowncc.com or by phone at 519-753-3153. Ask reception if you can speak to a resource consultant.